Okay, hello everyone. Today we will practice on making the test application, which looks like this. Okay, so right here we do have interface of our application. Just let me start. Okay, we will click the button start. So what we can see right here, where is the question counter? So here we can see this is the first question among 3, which will be displayed on our screen. So we can see the question itself, the first question of our application, and the 4 possible answers. Okay, so we are supposed to choose one of that answers using the radio button concept. For example, I will choose the first one. We'll click the button next. Okay, so when we click the button next, our application move to the second question. So here we can see this is the second among 3 possible questions here, and we do have another question, 2 plus 2, 4. Okay, next. This is our last third question. So what is the sign 0? Okay, let's make a 1 pi. Next. Okay, so once the all questions what we already display in our screen finished, so we can see the description, some kind of result table related to our test. So the first question correct, second correct, third wrong. So, and today we are going to build such kind of application step by step, one by one. So now let's make a new project. I will call it test application 2017 practice. Okay, next. Okay, here I'm not going to change anything, just finish the application. Okay, one more time. This is our application, so that kind of design we supposed to build on our application. Okay. Okay. So we need time until our application will finish downloading the all necessary blocks, processing, and any other stuff. Okay, mostly finished. Now let's come back to the design. So in the design, so we are going to insert few objects. Okay, the first will be the text view, which is our counter. Okay, so here I will call it counter. Okay, text view. So as default, the text view, as we can see, it's kind of like some text. Oops, what's happened? Okay, no need. So this is our counter. Okay, so the next will be our question bar. So where we are going to place our questions. So I will call it questions, and the text is the good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Okay, so the next. Okay, next here there are 4 invisible items. Okay, if you will click start, we can see that there are 4 radio buttons which actually display our question and the answer. So this is the 4 possible answers for our question. So now that is our radio button, so we will place them here one by one. radio button 1. Okay, I can call it like choice 1. So on here, so where is no any text, I will just delete the text. Okay, and now let's add others. This is our choice tool. No text. Choice 3. No text. And choice 4. Choice 4. No text. Okay, so the next what we need to place is our button. So we need only one button, so that's why let's place it here. So that is our button. Next. Okay, see that in the beginning, it has the name start. Okay, just see when we started. So here the text of our radio button is start. So the next it will change to next. Okay, and we will code it also how to place it. Okay, this is our button next. So up to now it has the name start. So here the click next, that will be our on click property. Okay, that's all. So now let's try what we can see in our application if we will launch our test application 2017 practice. So up to now in the screen we're supposed to see all of the objects what we already built on our application. Okay. Okay, installing application, so that should appear. Okay, so this is our application. So now we can see this is our counter, question bar, and 4 choices for radio button, and the button start. Okay, definitely now nothing works because we didn't code it yet. So let's come back to our application. See that this is the application what was built before. So same good luck, but see that we cannot see the radio button. So now how to implement that particular property? So if we will go to the all possible settings here, rate, visibility. Okay, so here we do have a property visibility. Okay, so we can make it visible or invisible. So we may say make it invisible. So when it is invisible means that we cannot see it right now. So the visibility property we can change same as anything else. So that's why like that kind of things we can control manually. Okay, so right now will be no any radio buttons displayed in our application. Okay, so now we will have to code our items. Okay, now let's go to our source code. Okay, so we do have that good luck. So the questions text view, where we are going to place our question text of our question. So back, let's create this that object text view. I will call it question. Okay, so here question text view, find view by ID r ID. Okay, and here is our question. So we will also need to enable our counter. Okay, I will just copy this path. Counter. So here I will also need to connect my counter. Okay, why counter is the capital? Okay, let's change the name. Okay, so here's here capital, so here it's small. That's better to make it same if I can. Okay, small question, small counter. Okay, good. So now, yeah, okay. So the counter became small. So that is to our object what we are going to create here. Now, so let's create our function void. So here will be click next, view. Okay, so click next. Okay, that's capital. Should be capital. Okay. Now the first what we will implement right here is the way how to change our button start to the button next. Okay, so in fact the button is the same except the text here should be changed. So now in order to do that, so we will have to enable our button also. Okay, and we can call it like button next, and we can enable that button same as the other object in our application, like button view by ID RID. So here is our button next. Okay, so now we can handle our button next as we want. So as long as the button next, this is our item, the button, so we actually can change the text of this button. Okay, so here we just can call it next. Okay, so now if I will run my application, so the button text should change from start to next, and oops, something happened. Okay, we will figure out it later. So start, so when I click the button start, that's became next. Okay, now let's see what's happened with our check. Okay, where is the visibility property? Invisible. Strange. Visible, visible, invisible. Why it is not invisible? Okay, so maybe that's better to make the view. Okay, let me figure out why. Okay, so here we will have to do some extra coding just in order to make those kind of radio button invisible. Okay, see what's happening. So as default, like see here, all of our radio button there looks invisible because the invisible properties is assigned as invisible in the design path. Okay, if we will come back to the text, to XML layer, so here we also can see all of our radio button, they are invisible. So, but for some reason our code doesn't want to make them invisible when we run it first time. So see what I did. So we do have 4 radio buttons, choice 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I create the 4 objects. So same choice 1, choice 2, just change the character to the capital. So create the object of our class radio button as the choice one. So connect it there, and so that kind of coding now can set up our visibility. Set visibility view invisible. So that command will create our radio button invisible. Okay. So see what's happened now. If I will click the button start, now I'm supposed to see my radio buttons right here. Okay, see what I can do. So again, as long as now choice one is our object of the radio button choice one, so now I can set visibility. So here view. Okay, so here actually I can change visible or invisible. So that should become visible. So now I will need to do that for all of my radio button what I have. So here 2, 3, and 4. Okay, let's see what will happen. So now I'm supposed to see my radio button. Okay, so those radio button appeared and my button text changed from start to next. Okay, so now we are ready to code our questions. So questions, what we will have to add into our application. Okay, so right here, so this is our Word file available in the eCyber. So here is the guidelines how to create that particular application, what is written right here. So we are doing exactly the same. So, and at the end we do have some kind of practical guidelines. So now I'm going to use them just in order to kind of follow our application step by step created. So see that the string component what we are using in our test application contains two strings, Q and answer. String Q contains 3 objects. This is the question 1. The second, this is the cache question 2, 2 plus 2, and the third question. And answer. Answer contains 4 answers for the question 1, another 4 answers for the question 2, and another 4 answers for the question 3. Okay, I will just copy those strings and add to my application. So I'm supposed to add it here. So we do have a 2 string which contains all of our objects. Okay, now come back to our Word file. So see here we also need to have 2 arrays. Okay, so I will copy those items, add it into our program. So what is the answer? Answer, this is the integer array which contains 3 elements. See that there are 3 questions, means that we will have to make 3 answers. So the array answers will contain our answers inserted by the users. So as long as our program later should be able to give us the final report about our choice, so the application should also know the correct answers. So the correct answers given in this particular array, also the integer array answers correct. So the correct answer for the first question is the first one. So this telephone is our first correct answers. The correct answer for the second question is number 3, 4, and the correct answer for the, okay, that's maybe wrong. Like sign 0 is where? Like sign 0 supposed to be 0. Okay, so here I think that should be 3. Okay, so that is our application what we are going to create right here. So so what will be the next point? So the next, we will have to display our question one by one in our application. So how we are going to do that? Again, come back to our, why it's 2 here, it should be 3. Okay. Okay, this is the way how to display my questions and answers in the application. So we will copy that text, place it here. See that when we click the button next, our questions should appear right here. Okay, so definitely the answer 1, that is our choice 1. Sorry, so the names will be not correct, so just because I made a different application, so I will just correct it to the names what I have. Actually, in your application you're supposed to do exactly the same. See, now here we do have a Q number. Q number, that will be our question ID. Integer Q number equal 1. Okay, so as default, okay, we can make it, I don't need to make it private. Okay, just Q number equal 1. So the Q number equal 1 means that we are going to start from the question number 1. So if our Q number is 1, see what's happened. Q number minus 1, this is 0. So that's why I am going to display the item from the string Q, which is located in the first position. See that this is our Q. So if I will place 0, I will insert the first question. So in my screen I can see what is Yanov let. Okay, so if I will change that index from 0 to 1, I can see the second question, and if that index will be 2, I will see the third question. Same idea is working for my answers. Yeah, but the problem is that the number of answers is bigger compared to the number of questions. So that's why here we do have that kind of some simple calculation. So if my Q number is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So 4 multiplied 0 is 0. So it means that first answers what I will insert here as the choice 1. So that will be my first answer with the index 0. Okay. The second one, see here, 4 multiply Q number minus 1 plus 1. So that part is 0. So plus 1 means that that ID in the string answer will be 1. So means that here we will display the second question with the ID 1, like with the index 1. Same for the third question and fourth question. Okay, so now what will happen if I need to display the second question? The first of all, our Q number should be incremented. So we started from 1, now that's supposed to be 2. Okay, so and in order to display the second question, so here will be 2 minus 1, that became 1. So I will have to insert second component with the index 1 from my string Q, which is my second question, 2 plus 2, and so on. For the questions, so see that here I do have construction 4 multiply Q number minus 1. So the Q number is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 multiply 4 became 4. So that's why I'm supposed to display the answer with the index 4 as my choice 1. So the answer for the first answer for the second question, 0, 1, 2, 3, this is 4. Okay, so that's why I will display that number 2, because it contains index 4 in my application. So that it contains index 5, 6 and 7. See what's happened here. So that 4 will be always the same. So the index for the second answer will be the 4 plus 1, 5. For the third answer will be the 4 the 4 plus 2 is 6. And for the last one, 4 plus 3 is 7. Now same we can do for the next question. Okay, now let's see what will happen if I will execute our code. Okay, I think I will just restart it. Okay, start. Okay, so now I can see this is my first question and 4 corresponding answers. So once again, okay, let's do this. See what is Mophilet? This is that one, that part, and this is our first question. And there are 4 answers. So the 4 answers we can see here. So we can see them right just in front of our radio buttons. Okay, so if I will click next, so now our Q number became 2. Okay, so I will see the second question here and those 4 answers, 2, 3, 4, 5, the answers for the second question. Okay, when I will click the button next one more time, so now I can see the third question sign 0 and 4 corresponding answers, pi divided by 2, 0 and 10. So now at least the questions and corresponding answers place in our application correctly. Okay, so the next what we will need to fix is our counter. Okay, so our counter is here. Okay, let's make it here. Counter set text. Okay, so what I supposed to see in my set text. Okay, so here, if I display the first question, that should be 1 of 3. Okay, so the first will be the string value of integer. So here our Q number. So as default our Q number is 1. So and we are going to display that number right here. So here will be of 3. So that's why we can see our counter. And let's see what will happen. So that will be just our counter. Okay, now we can see this is the first question, second question, third question. Okay, so here, what will happen if I will click that button next one more time? So see that there is no any control. So our Q number will become 4, means that we are supposed to display the question number 4, but in our application we do have only 3 questions and corresponding answers. So that's why when I will click, it's crashing, which is quite normally. So means that for our application we will have to control our Q number. So if our Q number, okay, so here we will display them when my Q number is 1, 2 or 3. So we can say if it is less or equal 3, then display the answers like this. Okay, so what if it is became 4? So what I should do? Just let's start just to see that my application is not crashing right now. Okay, so the first question, second question, third question, now fourth question. So I am clicking, nothing happened. So right now when I will click the button next, okay, if we can come back to our application, so here Okay, it's correct. So we are supposed to see our like report. So the description where my like what question is correct, what question is not. So and see where it's supposed to happen. That's supposed to happen right here. So if our question is less than 3, we are doing that kind of answering. Else, so here I supposed to display report. Okay, so how to display the report right here. So the first, see what will have to happen. Our radio button disappeared. So what I should do, I will have to start from here, and instead of visible, I will just make it invisible. Okay. So we need to disable all of our radio button, and okay, also for the question. So our question, like set text, like I can just like write report. Okay, see what will happen if I will do this. Okay, this is our application. So question 1, question 2, question 3, report. So now I supposed to see my answers. See that our button next should also disappear. We don't have the button next right here. Very similar. So our button has the index like button next. So that's why we can use this button next and set visibility. So here invisible. So now our button next will be disabled. Okay. Okay, so now if we will launch that kind of application, so we can see exactly what is displayed here. Okay, so the next is how to display the report itself. See, the idea behind of that application is to save the answer what is made by user. See that in our code we do have the array answer. So the array answer will contains our answers given by the users. So that answer should be the number in between 1 to 4. See that because the answer is correct is actually saying me which answers are correct. 1, 3, and 3. So now, how to implement that particular property? The first of all, our computer should remember what kind of choice we made when we use our application. Okay, now let's come back, launch our application. Okay, so now I need to choose like telephone. If I will choose the planet, see that now the 2 radio buttons became checked. We don't have a control of it, so that's why it basically doesn't work. So we will need to handle it separate. Okay, so now how to do that? Okay, so now we will need to display our report in our application. Okay, so I will just launch to show how it works. So the application should check all of the answers what we insert to our application like during our test procedure. So like I'm just kind of clicking. Okay. So the first we will need to fix that bug with our radio buttons. Before we already discussed that kind of case, so what we basically need to do is to just place all of our radio buttons into the radio button group. Okay, let's try this. Radio button group. Radio button group. Okay, so the radio button group. So we will create ID like group group 1. For that radio button group N, one by one, just let's move our radio buttons here, and just let's make a correct order. Okay. See that now all of our interface like stuck. So why? Because our radio button groups should be displayed correctly. Okay, see that this is the counter and the question. So the counter and the question correctly displayed. So but the group 1 it's not. So and we are going to place it into the proper place. Okay, where is our radio button group? It's here. So I will just okay, I can just copy this part and just say it here below questions. Let's see what's happened. Okay, our button next. Our button next. Okay, where is our button? Button below. Okay, so here I can say below not questions. So here should be below group 1. Group 1. Okay, now let's see. Okay, so now we can see this is our radio buttons inside of our application. Okay, now let's try. So how it will look, how it works. So finally all of our choices like should be only one choice per one question. So here, okay, so now it starts working. So the one, at least the one choice we're supposed to make, like telephone. Next. Oh, okay, so here there is one problem. The choice for the next question, when we click the button next, so that choice should be disabled. Okay, see that I choose the answer number 4, click the number 3 question, and it's not disappeared. So the radio button, when it's moved to the new question, that should be unchecked. Okay, and that we will also need to fix when we click the button next. Okay, so actually right here, so our choice, like choice 1, set checked, should become false. Okay, so that kind of choice we will need to make for the all of our radio buttons. Okay, choice 1, 2, 3, 4. So all false means that when we click the button next, so they should turn to false all the time when we are clicking them. Okay, so now see that we click the button next, like telephone. This is our first answer. Click the button, click to the next button, move to the next button, and choice became disabled. Okay, number 3, choice became disabled. Okay, so display the report. The report is empty because it's nothing to report right now. Okay, so now what is also important to remember here? See what's happened. I will again come back to my first application. See that here, like I choose the telephone. That was the answer for the first question, and it's correct answer. So when I will click the button next, so the choice what I made for the first question is lost now. I don't know it anymore. So if I will click like the answer 4 for the second question, so that choice is also should be saved somewhere in my code. So up to now there is no anything which will remember, so that the answer for the second question is number 3, basically the answer 4. That information is not saved anywhere, so we will have to proceed it somehow. Okay, and like for the last one, it's also 0. So now it's saying like all correct. Okay, now let's come back here and okay, what kind of things should be changed when we are doing when we are kind of making the choice for our application. Okay, the first of all, see that here we do have the array answer that's supposed to contain our choice, what we are making for our application. Okay, now where those kind of answers should be fulfilled in my application. So logically, when I will click one of my radio buttons, see that I click the telephone. So my application should remember that the answer, my choice for the first question is number 1, telephone. If I change my mind to the ice cream, so the application should also remember that my choice now is the ice cream. And same others. So the choice should change, depends on what radio button I will choose for my application. Okay, now how to implement it? See that all of my radio buttons here has like appeared in my application, but what we can do, we can add on click property to the each of our radio button. Okay, click, 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 click. On click property. There is on click. Okay. So here will be like click choice 1. Click choice 2. Click choice 3. And the last one, click choice 4. Okay, so now I do have the click property for all of my radio buttons. Okay, now coming back here. Okay, so now I can code wait click choice 1 view okay, so click choice 1, that will be the click property like if I will choose the first radio button choice 1. Okay, so what's supposed to happen? See that my answer now should remember what choice I made. Okay, so as long as that was the first radio button, so I supposed to say okay, this is 1. So what should be inside? So here we will have to insert my like Q number, but first we will need to discuss what's supposed to happen in my application. See that here, okay, we like enable our radio buttons, so like remove the choice from our radio buttons. Okay, so kind of display all of our questions, and after that see what we are doing. We increment our question ID. So means that, okay, assume that I am displaying the first question. My Q number is 1. Okay, so 1 minus 1, that's 0. That's why I will display the first question. Same for the answers. Now, I will increment my Q number, and that will become 2. So, but see that the answer contains only the answers for the 3 questions. So in order to place the answer for the first question, so here is supposed to be 0. But that number in this particular time became 2. Okay, so that's why I will do this Q number minus 1. And we can say, okay, if I will click the radio button 1, so my choice will become 1. Okay, now I'm supposed to do that for the like radio button 2. So here's supposed to be 2, radio button 3, supposed to be 3, and radio button 4, supposed to be 4. Okay, so that kind of 4 functions now will give us the chance to save our choice for the different questions. Okay, so now as long as our choice is already kind of inserted to our code, so now here when we wanted to display our report, so we can simply try our questions one by one, like equals 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Okay, so here I supposed to place my report kind of report. Okay, so now, okay, so for the each question, if, okay, so my answer, so the answer, this is the answer inserted by the user, E, equal answer correct, E. Okay, so it means that the user made the correct answer. So what I supposed to display? So my question text. So here, actually we can, as long as some information is already question, get text. Get text plus. Okay, so here we can say go to the next line. Okay, so here will be like report. Next line will be the question. What? Like Q. Okay, we can actually see it here. Okay. So see that I supposed to see like Q1 correct. So here that will be the Q. Okay, the number sign. After that, I supposed to place my question ID, so that is I, or I plus 1. So here I can say like string value of, so here will be the I plus 1 plus, so here will be correct. Okay, and I will need to go to the new line else. So if my answer given by the user is not same as correct answer, so here is supposed to write wrong. Okay, so now let's see what will happen. Okay, start. Telephone 4 0. Okay, so now we can see that all of our answers correct. Okay, now let's try again. Telephone. Okay, let's here make mistake 3 and here like 10. So now we can see the first question is correct, second and third wrong. So there is only the last the things what we wanted to add. I want to see the total. Okay, so now what I want to add is to count how many times did I make my answer correct and how many times is wrong. See that there are altogether 3 questions. 1 is correct, 2 wrong. Means that I made the correct answer for the like 33%. I want to know like my total point for that kind of test. Okay, so now how to do this? So the first I will need to count how many times did I answer correctly. So that's why I will create a new variable like the correct, like count. Let's do this count correct answer, and as default I will say this is 0. So now when I am doing the correct answer in here, I will just increment that number to 1. Okay, so and when I will finish that kind of loop, so I will just say okay, like total. So in here I will need to display like how many percent I will have finally. So here again like string value of, okay, I place double, that is fine. So here, so what I will have to include, that is my like count of the correct answers divided by 3, and finally I need to multiply by 100. Okay, so let's keep it as it is. So here it's plus basically percent. Let's see what will happen in our application. Okay. Start telephone for 0. Correct. Okay, so it doesn't build. Okay, so this is our application again, like telephone. I again place my answers. Okay, in one answer I'm making wrong. Correct, wrong. So it's saying 66% what is given. Like looks fine. Okay, let's try one more time. So I will make 2 mistakes now, 4 and 0. Okay, so now wrong, correct, 66%. Telephone 5, 10. Okay, so now correct, wrong, this is 33%. Okay, so that is exactly what we want from our application. It's actually displaying us like the total number of possible like correct answers. Okay, so that's all for our application. It's all built, all working. Okay, goodbye.